The next award is the 2025 Hoosier Freedom Award. Mark Guenin was nominated for this award by Bob Johnson. So I'm proud to nominate Mark for the Hoosier Freedom Award. I've gotten to know Mark over the last several years, and through my work on the executive committee with his daughter Emily. And each time I talk to Mark, I am very grateful for that time that I spent with him, because to me, he is the embodiment of a trial attorney. I've never met someone who's so willing to share his thoughts and ideas about what's best for the client. And it's not about his ego or anything like that. He is an honorable person. He has worked harder for more people, not just his clients, but people who are terribly underserved in our rural communities, which, you know, some of these counties have 10,000 people in them, one judge, and no lawyers. And Mark has made it his mission to find resources for them, because they do need help and they are marginalized. And, you know, for someone of his stature to do that, I think we are so lucky to have somebody like him in our organization. You know, I told a funny story in the nomination that Emily shared, but, you know, I do love this story, that when Mark was 12, he had an encounter with law enforcement. He was driving a grain truck through town at the age of 12, and the town marshal pulled him over and said, "You're not supposed to be driving that grain truck. Tell your dad I said hello when you get home." So he grew up in Wabash, and practices there. He actually went to Wabash College. So I would like to invite Mark up to say a few words and let him know that he is very deserving of this Hoosier Freedom Award. Mark Guenin.
Well, unlike Jerry, I knew I was going to get an award, so I brought my whole family, okay? And so I'm going to introduce them first. My wife, my best friend for 52 years. Diane is here. I won't have her, she won't stand up by herself. My daughters, they will stand up whether I ask them to or not. So I'm going to ask them to, like it's my idea. But my oldest daughter is Emily. A lot of you know her, Emily Guenin Hodson, and her husband Jeff. Lindsay, my youngest daughter, and her husband Lindsay Ogle, and her husband Dustin. And then Natalie, our middle daughter, is here with her husband Sean. Our extended family involves two other people that are here with us today. And I'll mention that Justice Goff is from, as you all know, is from Wabash County, because I've all told you that enough. But he's kind of our extended family, and have a lot of admiration for him. But his wife was, though we're separated by a generation, she was actually raised in a home just 2 miles down the road from my parents' farm. So we've been close for a long time, at least physically, if not otherwise, but we've grown closer over the years. I also want to thank Bob Johnson. It said an awful lot of nice things. I will tell you, there was a state trooper involved in that story, not just the town marshal, and he was not wanting me to say hi to my dad. He had a different idea for that day. But there is actually a statute that says if you're driving for agricultural purposes, you don't have to have a license. I don't think they expected me to drive 8 miles to town, but I did. And I will tell you, I was slight of stature at that time, so when I was driving this 46 Chevy grain truck, every time I shifted gears, I would dip below the dashboard and then pop back up to see where I was. So it was quite an experience, but that's life on the farm when you're in Wabash County. What I'd like to do is tell you a little bit that when I was in high school in the late 1960s, it was during the Vietnam War. And I'm pausing here to allow you to do some of the mental calculations of just how old he is. And then I'll pause again and allow you to look me over and say, well, not too bad for that age, or oh, my God, it's been hard on him, you know. But what happened at that time, our generation in the late 60s was not afraid of protest. We protested the Vietnam War. We protested the military draft. We protested the lack of the right of an 18-year-old to be able to vote in our democracy. We protested about dress codes and long hair. Protesting was a part of our American fabric then, and speaking up for yourself and others was important. It was a freedom that we held dear. Now there's a lot of pressure on us to all stay silent. But as trial lawyers, we work every day to speak out in support of the people that have been made weak or broken, people who cannot speak for themselves. The insurance industry in 2024 profited $169 billion. Compare that to our verdicts. That's profit after their expenses. That was a 90% increase from the year before. That was a 333% increase from 2 years before that. This is the giant industry that we stand up against every day, all to protect the freedom and security of the broken. In a coffee shop in Wabash, there's a sign, and it reads, "I'm not interested in whether you stood with the giants. I'm interested in whether you sat with the broken." In hospitals, burn units, in their homes, with the ramps, the low counters and the wide doors for the wheelchairs, in funerals and at cemeteries, every day as trial lawyers, we all sit with the broken. And when we do stand, we don't stand with the giants, we stand against the giants to protect the broken. And that's why I'm very proud to be a member of the Indiana Trial Lawyers Association. Thank you.
Wow. Speaking of giants, we all stand on the shoulders of giants like Mark Guenin and all the other trial lawyers that I've met through the years that started this organization. Thank you, Mark.